friends, Leslie from A Friend to Knit With. Welcome to episode 51 of A Friend to Knit With podcast. Today is March 10th. It is a Sunday morning. So unusual for me to film on a Sunday morning. We changed the clocks this morning and the weather has been all over the place. It's been sunny, it's been blustery snow, and now it's just overcast. So anyhow, I figured I'd get on here. I wanted to come on all week. And I had plans on Thursday to film. And then my sisters surprised me. I have a birthday coming up and they came in to surprise me, which was just so wonderful. I tried to get them to come on the podcast. They didn't want anything to do with it. So, and they both knit. I should have had some pictures. I didn't take any pictures of us knitting even. But my one sister, Shelley, is a bigger needle pointer, but Lisa was making a best friend butterfly blanket. So I wish I would have got them on. Anyhow, I made an oat milk latte. I've had most of it trying to get all my stuff organized here. But I'm here to talk about knitting. So yes, if you have stumbled upon this channel, it is a channel mostly about knitting. So if you love to knit as much as I love to knit, then you're in the right spot. I can be found on Instagram as Leslie Friend. I am Friend to Friend on Ravelry, and my blog name is A Friend to Knit With. So, all right, let's get into it. And I know you're dying to see what's on my needle. What's off my needles. The first thing off my needles is the Slipover by Lana Grossa. It is out of the Natural Alpaca Pelo. This pattern is, I am sorry, over on Instagram, everyone's asking about it, and I just can't even send you to the right spot. So hopefully I can here. Link below, because it's hard to find on Ravelry, and the pattern they have there is only in Germany. So I have emailed Lana Grossa or messaged them on there. They haven't even opened it yet, but I know I should just try again. And if that ever happens to you and I don't answer, please try again, because things get buried or they go into another folder, and sometimes I don't even see them for like 3 or 4 weeks. It's very embarrassing. So anyhow, I'm sure they would love to help out since it's a free pattern, and I have it actually in English here. So I know it's written in English. The yarn store said that I could definitely share this pattern, so I will put it on my Ravelry with the project notes here. I'll take a picture of it, so maybe you could even, print the picture and get the pattern that way if we can't wait. I don't know how else to get the pattern to you though, or if you know somebody to translate the German version. But everything will be linked in the show notes below. All right, so this is the Slipover in the Natural Alpaca Pelo. And I made the 36 to 38 size. I want this in every color. I honestly think I fell in love with it in the window. I was in Germany and I was in Berlin in December, and I walked into the yarn shop. Hi, Silky. Met my friend Silky, and this was in the window when I was walking in, and it just caught my eye. It was the stitch that caught my eye. I just adored, and I still do. I want a little sweater all this, but I knew I had to make it, so I bought some yarn to make my husband a scarf, and I bought this. This is all I had left. I bought 5 balls of this. They have beautiful, like soft hue colors in the Natural Alpaca Pelo. And yeah, I just loved it. So this is it. It's, I think, 63% cotton, 31% alpaca, and 6% merino. So that's the label there. Yeah, look at, I just love the variation of the tone along with the stitch pattern here. So it just has this long regular rib and then the pattern. I will say I ripped it out probably 4 times, and it's still it was about 3 weeks. It took about 3 weeks to knit. So it's on a US 8, a 5mm needle, and it just goes very quickly. Sorry, I have some fuzz on some yarn on my lips. So I'll tell you a few of my mistakes. The first time thought I wanted it longer because the pattern looked pretty cropped, and so didn't want it to be too cropped. So I added a whole diamond repeat, and it was about 4 inches too long. So I ripped it out and decided just to follow the pattern. I started knitting it flat, and then I remembered, oh yeah, that's why it doesn't look so great, is because you like to purl with the smaller needle than you like to knit. So I put it on my interchangeable needles, and I started, knitting with the US 8, purling with the US 7. Then I had an error all the way down here. Just one of the stitches went the wrong way. So I ripped it down. When I put it back on the needles, I put it on, so then I was purling with the 8, knitting with the 7. And I was thinking, why does this, it looks so sloppy. And realized that I was using the wrong tip for the wrong direction. So I ripped it back down, and then I think I had to rip it out again because one of the stitch was crossed again. That was my only thing, is I occasionally would, and I went back many, just a row or stitches, because I just tried to be very aware of the way I was making the diamond go. So anyhow, and I also changed the pattern. I will put everything in the show notes, but the pattern on the left twist, you can see how those are a little looser. I did that whole repeat the way the pattern called for. And then see how these are a little tighter? Can you even see that? I think you can. I can there. See how those are looser than this? So before you actually do this stitch, when I got online to look, because I was following the directions in the pattern, but when I got online to see whatever, if there was another technique to get those stitches to look a little neater, they had you reposition the stitches for that left twist on your needle and then do the left twist. So anyhow, that was extremely helpful, and I will put in my show notes because you might not remember now, and if you go to make it. But yeah, I love this sweater. Absolutely love it. And I think I decided that a slipover must just be the looser fitting sort of vest, and then a vest is more of a thing that I want to write the pattern up for, that I am in the process. But that's more of a vest. This is a slipover. But anyhow, I adore this. Like I said, it took 3 weeks, and I think if I wouldn't have been making mistakes, it would have been 2 weeks. So if you want that pattern, hopefully it'll be in English very soon, and everything will be linked below. Oh, and like I said, this is just one of those very wearable knits. And to me, it's all about the wearable knits. I would love this in a gray too. I think it would be really great and fit into my wardrobe because I need a few more gray things in there, for sure. All right, the next thing I knit is probably not that wearable for me, but it might be for you, but it's really fun. So it is the Party Bow by Andrea Roth-Fedida. And Andrea came up with this just amazing little party bow, and I loved it when I saw it. And since I am having a birthday, I decided to go ahead and make it. And yes, I added hot pink feathers to it. I bought a boa from Joann Fabrics, and so when I was knitting it, here, I have to tell you a little something. What I'm wearing for my birthday. It's a hot pink suit. I know, who am I? I did. I bought a hot pink suit. And I thought that I was going to add a bow of feathers to the wrists. I thought that would be so cute. So I was going to sew these feathers onto the wrist of the suit. I know. It's a one-time deal. And then I had always wanted to wear something that I knit though, like for my birthday. I was, so I thought about making a cami to go under the suit. And then once I saw this bow, I knew that I wanted to wear the bow with the suit. But, how am I going to wear that bow and bring it all together? Because I had Birdie, it calls for Birdie yarn, Big Birdie by Lamb Kid Big Birdie. And I had black, white, and camel, peanut. So I held it up to this suit, just the way your mind goes when you're trying to figure out things, and decided, what if I brought the pink into the camel, because it just was like camel, pink, I don't know. So I ripped off the feathers. So you rip it off, they come off so easily. You can just like tug it and it comes off, and then you can just, as you hold it with the yarn and knit it into the yarn. Now, I'm probably going to have feathers everywhere, because although I was doing that and trying to catch as much as I could, I think they'll come out fairly easily, which I also actually wanted to come out easily, because I think just having this camel party bow would be better probably for me than have it. But I thought to tie the pink in with the suit, that's how I could do it. All right, so I'm going to show it to you on, because I have some other things that I'm going to do to it before. Yeah, I'm probably leaving pink feathers wherever I go with this. So it's easy to tie. All right, so that's the party bow. Isn't it really fun? I thought it was so much fun. And here's what I'm going to do though, because it is a little floppy, if you want it to be like that. But I want to wear it like over my shoulder here and like that on the suit. So today, while I'm packing, I am going to take the Birdie, because I held Big Birdie with Birdie, Peanut, and Miel together. And I have a lot of this. This is all I have left of the Big Birdie. So it actually uses one skein of that. And then I had quite a bit of the Birdie left. And I'm just going to stitch like the two together, the fold together, there and there and there and there. And then I have, the fabric tape, accessory tape is it called? Or tailor tape? It's tape that's used to like tape up a hem, or tape your shirt onto your skin, things like that. So I'm going to put a little piece of tape on here, and so it'll stay on my shoulder and over there. So that's going to be my outfit. What do you think? And then I thought I could, just sort of chuck the little feathers out and share it with my girlfriends. I could pass this along for our birthdays, add different colors if they were wearing something different. I thought it was just a super fun pattern, really easy to make, goes so quickly. This is, you just have two of those with that's for your neck in between, and then the tails. And it was really easy to make. So thank you, Andrea. I love the pattern. You did a great job. All right, so the next thing off the needles is a friend. I know I talk about this all the time, but I wanted to let you know that I think I have pink boa on my lips. I I wanted to let you know that I put a YouTube video up if you're interested in how to add the stripes, because the pattern is just written in a solid version. But this is out of pea coat and salt, and I thought that it was just like the perfect spring wear over just a t-shirt or a blouse and denim. So this is the stripe for the front. And like I said, I will link the video below in case you were interested. I had a lot of people ask how to add that stripes. And yeah, so it's over on YouTube. All right, I think I only had one other little finished knit. If you watch the Knitting Posse, Kim made the little sea monkey hat. It's a little free pattern, and I thought it was just like the cutest thing. So on my last trip, I carried one ball of yarn with me, and I think I knit these on a US 7. So it's just a great project to have one ball of yarn and your needles. And this is a free hat pattern. I thought it was so darling. Thanks, Kim, for sharing your knit. And it's written with 3 different bottoms. There's a rolled, and there's a rib, and there's also a garter. And it comes in 3 different sizes. So this is the newborn, 0 to 6 months. It would be so cute to give the whole set to whoever, the baby. But I think I only have enough left to do another newborn. So, but wouldn't that be a cute little gift? Like just grow into your hats. And really fun to make. It's just knit in the round. You just graft together the top and just pinch the ears. Just no brainer. So very good new beginner hats. It's a free pattern. I used Blue Sky organic cotton because I had it in my stash. I think the pattern called for a dishcloth yarn. And this kind of looked to me like a little dishclothy. But I mean, I have so much yarn that I could use for that kind of a project. So anyhow, that is a great little on-the-go project. All right, what's on my needles? And you guys, the last episode I mentioned that I was doing the Floral Orsul cream, so I will go ahead and talk to you a little bit about that at the end of this video, in case you weren't interested. But so many of you shared their stories and their, issues with it. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It was a great thing. I'm really glad I did it. So I'll tell you more about it and how it went exactly. So on my needles, okay, are you darting along? And I'm so sorry, I have not, shown any love over on Ravelry. I've been watching on Instagram, but I didn't start till just last week, my dart along. I was out of town when it started, and then I forget what happened when I came home. I don't know, but I finally started. So this, I love the construction here. This is an I-cord cast on, and then you pick up the stitches. So this is the back, the top of the back. And I am using La Bien-Aimée. It is just dreamy. Okay, here are 2. In the Wensley worsted. And this is Oxu colorway. And holding it with their silk Surrey, which is so dreamy, the Kumo. There is the name, but I don't know why that one is very dim, you can't see, but I'm holding those 2 together. And it is making this. I think it's gonna be a great thing to wear. I'm making it without the sleeves because Jan at Forever Yarn in Doylestown made hers without the sleeves, and she was wearing a Cape Palooza when Gina and Margaret and I saw it. And yes, I'm into the slipovers. So that's what I'm going to do with this. So if you are darting along, this is fun, and hopefully you're enjoying the pattern. I really like the unusual construction. And if you aren't, it is a knit-along that, and you haven't heard of it yet, it's a knit-along that I'm hosting with Gina from Skeincocaine and Margaret from Boboleros, and it started March 1st, but it runs till May 1st, so you have 2 months, and we'll be checking the hashtags on Instagram, and the community is over on Ravelry, so you can meet other knitters doing it too and see the progress. And so there's a Ravelry group, and use the hashtag DartalongCal, K-A-L, over on Instagram, so that we can see what you're making and what yarn you're using and stuff. So it comes in a crew neck and a V-neck, and so you can do either of those. You can also do it with or without the sleeves. It's your choice. So anyhow, I also have the Violetta still on the needles. I'm waiting for some more yarn because I ran out of yarn. But wow, I cannot wait to finish this sweater, to wear this sweater. I have loved making it. I realized that I really enjoy thinking sometimes. I am all about the mindless knits, but gosh, sometimes it's just like, okay, the next stitch, the next stitch, the next stitch. And yes, so I have my little stitch marker or needle markers on this, because you certainly are needle keepers. You don't want to lose any stitches. Now that I'm on the rib, it would be okay. I could pick those up, but if I was in the pattern. So it's really important to use these. These are from Tassi, and I can link. She has a great little kit that she puts together with these in there, and scissors and a tape measure and just a little notion kit for your car. But wow, I'm so happy that I never used those before. Very, very useful on a project like this. So anyhow, this is on hold till I get some more yarn, and it should come. And it's from You Knit Toronto, and I wanted to mention, because they're hosting another knit along, that I will knit the sweater because I love it. It's a color work yoke, and it's a very simple color work, which I like. I guess my knits are I like simple knits. Simple in vision, just not too busy in the vision of it. It doesn't have to be easy, but of course, I like an easy knit too. You Knit Toronto is hosting another knit along. I think they have the best knit alongs. And it is called the Asuzena, for the Asuzena sweater. And they want to offer you half off of that pattern. So if you use the code Asuzena friend, I will put it here on the screen and link everything below, then you can get half off that pattern. And if you start a project page and message them and let them know that you started a project page, then you can get the pattern for free. I think this is a beautiful sweater. I want to participate. We'll be casting on. I just didn't get the cast on at the time of the knit along. It seems to be a trend for me. So I will definitely, though, be making the Asuzena. I think it's just such a sweet sweater, and I think it's very wearable. So, okay, I did want to give you some life updates. I do have some yarn, but let me just get my knitting so we can knit together. And I can tell you, because so many people also messaged me about the hornet's nest. Okay, the hornet's nest is still on the window, but the birds have eaten most of it. And hornets never come back to the home. So nothing would ever live in there again. So we need to get it off the window, but the birds, it's been, the cycle of life, the circle of life. The birds have been eating it. So I guess they go for the eggs. Yeah, so this winter it's kind of been a source of food for them. The hornets, they bury their queen bee. They bury their queen bee, so there aren't any living hornets ever in that nest again. So anyhow, that's the update with the hornet's nest. It was a fascinating experience for everyone that saw it. So yeah, I wish my kids would have been a little bit younger, and then they could have, yeah, it would have been fascinating. They were still fascinated and scared. Okay, all right, the Fluorouracil cream. That cream, you guys, it's a pre-cancer cream. It's a chemo cream to treat pre-cancer. And I had something burned off my skin 2 years ago right here. And it was just rough and still rough. And she said, you know what, you're gonna use it all over your forehead and across the tops of your cheeks. And you will probably light up like a Christmas tree. And that I did. So it brings any pre-cancer cells to the top and they fluff off. And I have an appointment to go back, and if any area looks, like it's still something. But my dark skin, like the sunspots, those really became red and sensitive, and I had some other areas that weren't even a concern that popped up. So I am very much looking forward to going back. So I used the cream twice a day for 2 weeks exactly, and then I used Aquaphor nonstop after that, and probably into the second week. And it's amazing how your body heals though. So it healed pretty quickly after that. The third week was still, so the first week you don't really see anything. The second week it starts to come out, and then you stop the cream, and the third week it keeps coming out. So then it starts to heal, and it heals quickly. So if you're ever gonna use it or ever prescribed it, it's not that bad. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and yeah, it looked terrible. I was, horrified that that's what was going to happen, and it kind of did. But it's okay. I didn't have anywhere to go, and I just stayed home and knit and ripped out my sweaters. So thank you for all of your messages so much. And February is a great month to take care of skin things like that for the Northern Hemisphere. I think if you're not living in a sunny climate, that February is like the perfect month to do that. So I think that's pretty much gonna wrap this one up. I will be back here after my trip. I'm gonna let you know how that big fancy bow goes. The party bow, because, oh, by the way, I haven't showed my husband my outfit. He's going to be really shocked that I would step out of my box like that. So I'm excited to surprise him. So anyhow, you guys, I hope that you love what you're working on. And if you're knitting the Dartmoor sweater with us, then that is really fun. I hope you're loving it. And the new, I-cord cast on, if that's the first time you ever did that, I hope you're loving that. It's the first time I've ever done it, and I absolutely loved it. And yes, enjoy and take care of yourself and stay warm and just happy. All right, until I see you again, remember you always have a friend to knit with. Take care. Bye.